May now be seated. I've met Christina through a friend of ours, we consider family, and her family some time ago. I've dated several people, some of her friends, and
How many of her friends?
common friends.
Quite a few.
A few, yes. Sometime me and Christina had a relationship.
I wouldn't call it a relationship, Your Honor.
Well, it was a drunken night.
Yeah, a drunken stupor, more like a drunken stupor.
When you're single, you do miscellaneous things. But it was an off and on relationship while she was separated. Some time went by, and Christina came to me about child support money for her child. And I felt it like it was blackmail, but I told her that, I'll pay for the DNA test and help you out as much as I can if possible, but if the child proves to be mine in the DNA test, I will file for full custody. After that happened, she totally dismissed it, and I just let it go. So nothing was done after that. In 2003 or 13, Christina approached me that she was going to get evicted from her place with her family, and she needed to borrow $900.
All right, before we get to the loan, you're showing her about, let me allow her to give some background.
Well, Your Honor, like you said, we've known each other 20 plus years. First and foremost, it was a drunken stupor night. Since we're here in court, I'd like to thank Juan in public. Thanks to you.
That's pretty good.
Oh, no. Thanks to him, I've become a happily married lesbian to my wonderful wife of 6+ years now. No. I don't even think anybody would think he was any good at anything for that matter. But yeah, so, moving forward, he was married, I was married, I got divorced, he became divorced, I was still friends with his ex-wife. That's why we're here today, Your Honor. That's what I feel like. He's doing this out of spite because I'm still friends with his ex-wife. And to be honest with you, he thinks I'm choosing sides, or he feels I'm choosing sides. If you really knew him, you would choose sides as well.
All right, in terms of any association,
correct.
Are you talking specifically about romantic?
Correct.
Specifically
like I said,
about that or all?
No,
because you put me in it. That's why we got to clarify this. Yeah, we got to clarify this. You're talking about if I knew him, I would do the same.
Everything, Your Honor.
No. I mean, you do what you want to do. Ain't no thing to me, but don't put me in it. Go ahead. What do you say about this loan, sir?
Christina made 3 payments.
It was $900?
Yes, it was $900.
Agreement and late fees. Was there an agreement to that?
There was a $10 late fee per month.
Okay.
There was interest in it, but I waived them off, and I kept my word on that. Okay. I understand Christina had.
When did she loan it to her?
August 2013.
All right, and she was supposed to pay how much a month?
$50 bi-weekly.
All right. 100 a month. All right. And what did happen?
There was an unfortunate incident due to a loss in her family, and I didn't talk to her for like a month, to grieve. And then a month later, I've been trying to tell her, I understand it's a hard time for you. I don't care if you pay $12.50 a week. I don't want to enforce the late fees or anything like that. And she said she'll try her best.
How much has she paid at that point?
$150 out of the $900.
When you've asked for the balance, what has she said?
She refused. I've actually gone to approach her. I wrote my own demand letters in August and November of 2016. She didn't comply. My representatives for myself and my stepdad went to go borrow her on the
Your representative?
It's a legal program that writes letters for me. That's all they
got. Goons? It's a representative. Like goons. Your muscle? Yeah, go ahead, ma'am. Let me hear about that.
Like he said, there was a death in the family, and
well, the agreement, was it as he stated?
The agreement was, yes, $50 bi-weekly. The loan was originally so that my children and my wife and myself would not become homeless.
Your wife doesn't work?
I'm sorry?
Your wife doesn't work?
No, she's on disability, Your Honor.
And you didn't work?
I was working at the time.
So why can you all afford a place to stay with disability and employment?
It was another situation with the property manager of where we were staying.
Okay, why can't you go to another place? That's my point. Social Security and a full-time job typically affords enough money for people's housing.
So we did become homeless after all.
That's what I'm asking. Why? Because that sounds like it's going to be your defense.
It's another.
So you have to give me something other than just, we were homeless. I don't know if that means you went and...
We had issues with the property manager, and she had...
I know. Why couldn't you move into another place?
Because we then didn't have any money.
What happened to the money from Social Security and your full-time employment? See, when people tell me this, we got to get into it.
Don't go away, or Judge Mathis is coming up.
Turn that way and tell her what you think. We broke up. If we still together, neither one of us would be here. Now, tell her what you think of her. I love her. I love her. Why? Why? Because she's a beautiful, smart, intelligent, kind-hearted person.
And later,
I got some people I've put in rehab at least 5 times each. One person 7 times.
Sounds about right.
At some point, she get clean in recovery. How many years?
More than 12. Yeah. You know, I watched my children, one of them almost overdose. So you never give up. It's life.
I grew up in Detroit, and I'm proud of where I come from. It's a tough city, but there's a lot of love here. And I carried that tough love with me as a judge. And I still keep it real, hearing real cases with real people from my courtroom in Chicago. I'm Judge Mathis.
Your heart doesn't only belong to you. And if you have heart failure, entrusting your heart to Entresto may help. Entresto is a heart failure medicine that helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital compared to a leading heart failure medicine. Don't take Entresto afraid. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto and help make more tomorrows possible. Entresto for heart failure. On to the store for your TTC Solo, a Star Wars story.
Hey, you're running.
Okay, walk. You can collect 3 specially marked Big Cheese cereals for your free movie ticket today. Solo, a Star Wars story, in theaters May 25th. Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth? In Allstate, you can pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. That's a good hands reward for safe driving, with a deductible that goes away. Deductible rewards. One more way you're in good hands with Allstate.
Smoking causes my throat cancer. And walking every day makes me feel like myself again. Well, almost.
You can quit. For free, I'll call 1-800-QUIT now.
Since we're here in court, I'd like to thank him, thank Juan in public. Thanks to you.
That's pretty good.
Oh, no. Thanks to him, I've become a happily married lesbian. My wonderful wife of 6+ years now. No.
Plaintiff Juan Ortiz Jr. says she had an on and off relationship with a defendant, but she insists they had a drunken one-night stand. And after that, she became a full-fledged lesbian.
I wouldn't ask you any of those questions had you not given me the excuse that you and your wife, who both have incomes, full-time jobs, Social Security. I know people who live off Social Security. I know one person in particular with 2 children. And they just had to leave and got another place. So, what is the reason?
Between the issues with the property manager and the fact that I had a family loss, I lost my job in the process of all that.
Okay, so you weren't working.
No.
You started on
Once we became homeless.
When was the last time you worked?
I'm working now.
When did you start?
It'll be almost a year now.
You were working for a year? And how long? You still homeless?
When I finally got the job, we finally found a place.
When's the last time you were homeless?
A year ago.
Right. So why are you using that as an excuse? And it's been a year ago. You see why I cut through that? Because you have children? Ma'am,
yes.
You have children. So you're using your children as an excuse.
No, sir.
My children were homeless. You're going to play on my emotion, his emotion, everybody's emotion. So I cut right through it.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, you have an excuse for not paying him in a year.
No, Your Honor.
All right, judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
We shouldn't have even gotten here to begin with, because I did try to contact your little what you are.
I got your text messages right.
Yeah, I got your text messages right here where all you thought was
You did cheat on me with 3 other of my friends.
and
This
you
would never
cheated on
exist.
her with
Especially when I had cancer. Where were you as my friend? Nowhere.
you cheated on her too.
Really? When she was sleeping with the guy since 2008?
You cheated on her too. That's not my issue.
I did not.
Like I said in the text
He
messages.
feeds you crap.
You full of
Plaintiff Edward Horwitz says the defendant was friends with his daughter, and Edward felt for him because he has struggled with addiction too. Edward hired the defendant to work for him because he wanted to give him a chance, but he's suing today because the defendant stole from him. Defendant Evan Stein says he's a self-admitted drug addict who used any drug he could get his hands on. Evan claims the hardest addiction to kick was his addiction to crack and heroin. But today he is 5 months sober. Evan is countersuing Edward for harassment. Start with you. I know Evan actually for many years. He was a friend of my children. Unfortunately, my kids, along with Evan, for years suffered with the disease of addiction, which could be crippling to a family, and I understand it, and I've been through it myself. My family has many years clean, and we're very proud of that, and we work very hard to maintain that.
How did you all get clean? A lot of people want to know, how did you get clean?
With the help of a 12-step program and a lot of work, diligence, and vigilance. Because it's something you have to deal with every day. And I know millions of people in this country are dealing with it. And I have dealt with the horror of watching my kids suffer with it. And as a parent, there's nothing worse than that. But part of how you stay clean, Your Honor, is helping other people. And I had heard that Evan was doing better, and he had started a business, doing a service that I happened to need at the time. I talked to him, seemed to be fine, and I hired him.
When did you hire him?
I hired him roughly late last summer.
All right.
I had money saved up in my home for some time I was going to be out of work for a new grandson on the way, and I had this considerable amount of cash hidden in my home. Wasn't hidden well enough, apparently. I didn't check it every day. Evan would come and clean every week, or every 2 or 3 weeks. I left him alone in the house. Yeah, I left him.
You had a cleaning
Yeah,
service,
cleaning
obviously? Yes. Okay.
Left him there. I trusted him. He seemed to be doing fine. We had a history.
How long had he been in recovery to your knowledge when he began
I
cleaning?
didn't know how long he had clean. He was clean at the time. I hired him from what I was told, and you never know. You really never know. Give him a shot. Money started to disappear. First few hundred at a time, dribs and drabs, not enough to notice. You know, when your kids suffer with this disease, Your Honor, you get used to having money disappear. So I didn't really notice it, and I thought, well, maybe I was miscounting. Maybe it was my mistake. Then it got to be more and more. And finally, it came to a head in January. He took $3,000 at one shot. And I realized he'd been there the day before. I was incredibly angry. I was hurt. I was frustrated. You see, I know, one thing I know about Evan, I don't think he would ever steal from me if he wasn't using. Because the disease of addiction will make you do things that you don't do. Stay tuned. The case continues after this.
I'm definitely a self-admitted today addict of whatever you got when I'm using. It's very
You like to go up and down? 1 minute your eyes
for something. It's the yin and yang. I
Then
guess
if
it's exactly correct.
You like that 1 minute? Then it,
In July of 2015, Matt came into my salon looking for a place to rent. I thought he was a little weird, a little sketchy.
what makes you think that?
Usually people don't walk into a hair salon and want to start the next day.
Yes, they do.
Not in my business.
If I'm looking for a job, I'm coming in. I want to start that day.
It's about putting others first. It's doing your best at whatever you do. It's about being honest with yourself. With everything. It's all of these. It's more. It's commitment. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. I had a perfect vision for my life, but then it got off track. For 10 years, I struggled with flashbacks of an IED explosion, survivors killed from combat, an outburst of anger. Finally, I reached out for support, and the chaplains, counselors, and healthcare providers in the military health system brought my life back into focus and set me on a path to success as a Marine, husband, and father. Visit realwarriors.net or call 800-874-2273.
Sometimes a simple idea can be developed into something big that can change the world. Every day in schools across the country, teachers inspire students by bringing learning to life. In 4th grade, my music teacher helped me make a vision board. It was a collage that represented all of my hopes and aspirations in music. But what if my teacher didn't have the supplies we needed to make our collages? What if I never got the chance to learn and express my dream? Unfortunately, that's the reality teachers face every day. They're forced to spend their own money, sometimes just to keep classrooms running. That's why I'm teaming up again with Staples for Students to donate $1 million to DonorsChoose.org, the charity that helps teachers get what they need to bring learning to life for students. It's an idea that's changing the world, and it's easy to help. Donate in stores or at staplesforstudents.org.
What makes Peter Griffin so cool is the glasses. The shoes. I should have worn high heels. I'll stop it. You look great. Gotta be the best. Peter, you know you're wearing... I know, I think there was a mix-up.
Oh, thank you, Jazzercise. This is actually kind of
I'm gonna show bad at Family Guy. Family Guy, you were dismissed and advised.
On our first anniversary, he brought roses. On our second anniversary, he brought diamonds. And on our last anniversary, he brought his girlfriend. So now I'm bringing his sorry butt to court. Divorce court.
Weekdays at 12 and 12:30. Finally, it came to a head in January. He took $3,000 at one shot. One thing I know about Evan, I don't think he would ever steal from me if he wasn't using. The disease of addiction will make you do things that you don't do. Plaintiff Edward Horwitz is suing his daughter's friend, who admits that he was a drug addict and used every drug he could get his hands on.
And let me allow him to talk.
I'm definitely a self-admitted today addict of whatever you got when I'm using. It started at this point. It didn't start that way when I was a teen and experimentally.
I'm saying you like to go up and down. 1 minute your eyes to me.
Something the yin and yang. I
Then
guess
if you
yeah.
get the hear one after, you'd be like that.
That's exactly correct.
You'd like that 1 minute. And then
Truthfully,
and how long have you been addicted to drugs or struggling with your addiction?
for 20 years.
Really? You haven't been on your own for 20 years, I hope.
No, that was the last of all the drugs that I succeeded.
The toughest, probably.
I would say crack and heroin.
Okay. Close about that. Yeah. And you've been getting treatment for heroin
Currently,
recovery?
I'm back in sobriety, and I am attending 12-step meetings.
How long have you been doing that?
I have 5 months today.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
All right, continued success to you. And there's a lot of resources now for folks on pills and heroin. So good luck to you. I think that you'll be all right. But what do you say to this? And when did that happen?
So I was sober when I started working for Eddie. What happened was, before I actually took the money, I had started smoking marijuana again. And I showed up to work one day under the influence of that, which did not help me make a healthy, rational decision. And I think when I opened the drawer and saw that money for the first time, it was just an impulse.
It looked like heroin.
No, it looked like cash in his drawer.
Cash to use on what?
Oh.
Huh?
And drugs.
Yeah, it looked like drugs. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I know how it goes, sir. I've seen plenty of this. This ain't my first rodeo with seeing drug addicts and recovering addicts. I got some people I've put in rehab at least 5 times each. One person 7 times.
Sounds about right.
That's what it is. But folks don't know. You go and go and go and go. At some point, you get clean in your recovery. How many years?
More than 12. Yeah. I watched my children, one of them almost overdosed on this. Right. You never give up. It's life. So, and eventually, you have to pray that people get it. But it's an explanation for why it might steal, but it's not an excuse.
The most important step I like to see is people admit that they're wrong and then repair the damage they've done to other people. Because you can't begin changing until you admit you have the problem. And then you should recognize that when you had that addiction, you damaged a lot of people. And I'm hoping that I hear that. I hear the first part, admitting. Now, why don't you give us a little more insight, though? I'm sure people want to know, though. I like to educate folks when it comes to this as well. So you saw the money, you grabbed it, and then what?
And then, I mean, it was a struggle. I went back to the drawer, I put it back, I took it back out. I mean, throughout the course of my cleaning that day, and it was just, it was torture.
Yeah, struggle it.
To have to ultimately, I guess, you know, like there's like a fogginess in the back of you that knows you're doing the wrong thing, and at the same time, you're being propelled and doing it at the same time. That's the best I can explain it. And like Eddie said, it's an explanation, not an excuse, and I admit that. And
how many times did you go? He said you went from a couple of hundred and ultimately to thousands. What happened? You went back and back each time?
I think once I knew it was there, it became like my own little bank account. I took many withdrawals in those pockets.
Not exactly, Your Honor. No, but I will say this to your point about admitting it. You know, to his credit, when I finally confronted him, it took him a day to text me back, but one of the first texts I got was, I admit it. It felt terrible. Yeah. He also confessed to $6,500 being stolen. And then my only goal at that point was to just keep him engaged with me and pay some of it back. I mean, I had no real hope I would get all of it back at all. And that's really this.
And that's why I'm not giving you such a hard time. Drug addicts who come in and they lie and they deny, and it's written all over their face, and the evidence is right there, but they deny, they lie, they've hurt people and still don't want to change. That's when I got to shame you. I got to try and shame you and embarrass you in the rehab. Like calling you all kind of dope things, crackhead, meth head. Hope you say, just talk to me. Let me go in the rehab. You talk to me in the rehab. I want to shame you in the rehab. But since you're in recovery, and you're admitting, I'm not going to come down too hard on you, but I'm going to let you finish. And I don't throw a lie in there, because then I'm going to come down on you.
Stay tuned. The verdict next. And coming up on Judge Mathis.
So how long you all been broken up?
July.
When you take it back, if you kick that liquor?
Not unless he goes to rehab.
Let's say if you kick it.
Yeah.
We're going to offer him rehab today, and that's going to equal, do you want her or do you want liquor? That's what this is going to come down to at the end of this case. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Judge Greg Mathis.
You always pay your insurance on time. Have one little bumper and upload your rates. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Newsflash, nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Switch and you can save $782 on home and auto insurance. Call 1-844-252-1810 for a free quote today. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Right now, get 2 of these delicious McDonald's breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Mix and match the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles, sausage McMuffin with egg, or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. A deal that will make your morning routine a little better. Breakfast at McDonald's. Each year, Absurd climbs 58,070 steps. That's the height of Mount Everest. Because each day she chooses to take the stairs. At work, at home, even on the escalator. That can be hard on the lower body. So now she does what Dr. Schul's orthotics. Clinically proven to relieve and prevent foot, knee, or lower back pain by reducing the shock and stress that travel up her body with every step she takes. So keep on climbing, Sarah. You're killing it. Dr. Schultz, born to move. June 29th, Publishers Clearinghouse could hand you $1 million. I'm in shock. But that's just the beginning. Because then you get $1,000 a week for the rest of your life. What a blessing. Go to PCH.com and enter now. June 29th, you could win it all.
Why is our unlimited data so expensive? Who do those guys think they're fooling?
See it all the time.
They expect all of us to share?
So, you're ready to switch.
For the family. Switch to Boost and get 3 lines with unlimited gigs for $100 per month. Plus, get up to 3 free phones with 20 gigs of mobile hotspot on each line. All on the super reliable and super fast nationwide network. Enjoy your data. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. That keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. HotelPlanner.com.
You can have a party here tonight. Party over here. This is what I needed. No, wait. This is what I needed. I'm a hit maker. Party over here. That means I can go out and party. You into some stuff tonight? Oh, yeah, that's my dad.
Party down with Cleveland Round. How about a party? The Cleveland Show. Your discretion advised. Weeknights at 2 a.m. on WHBO. And how long have you been addicted to drugs or struggling with your addiction?
For 20 years.
Really? You haven't been on your own for 20 years, I hope.
No, that was the last of all the drugs that I succeeded.
The toughest, probably.
I would say crack and heroin.
Plaintiff Edward Horwitz is suing his daughter's friend, who admits that he was a drug addict and used every drug he could get his hands on. What caused you to go for treatment again?
So I suppose that's why I'm countersuing it, as far as my feeling of being harassed, and it's that I got treatment, not right away after I was.
Did he harass you in the treatment?
I don't think Eddie had a part in my thinking as far as getting into treatment.
Did it?
But the actual situation, of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was
give him an award. Don't sue him. Give him an award.
I gone pretty low.
He harassed you back into rehab. He deserves an award because that's where you were supposed to be. Now, I was with you a minute ago, but now, I'll flip on you in a minute. Now, you're here talking about you want to sue him because he harassed you to the extent that you went back to rehab. I just told you that's what I do every day. The exact same thing. I don't harass. I shame and embarrass. And they do just like you. I shame them, national television, they go to rehab. When you get tempted, come back here and I'll discourage you. The word harassment is a problem for me. What did you do?
I had witnessed.
What? You tell me what you did.
I mean, it started slow with, reaching out to family, which I wouldn't say is harassing. I'd say it's just
saving your life.
I
What
didn't see it as then, obviously.
But you're here today clean and you still see it as that. What else did he do to you?
So
Ask for my money. I just kept saying, please get a couple hundred. Can you do anything? You use the word please. Actually, if you read the text, Your Honor, I said, as violated as I feel, I hope you do okay. I hope you do well. You have some text for me to read.
Absolutely. It's the last page, but I'm sorry.
What I do see is I believe altogether I owe you about $6,500. I did see that. That's the biggest text. And what has occurred since that time? He's paid down. Paid back 27, 25 years, 42, 25. And even after he stopped responding completely in April, he just ignored me. There were only 4 more texts. That's not harassment. Okay. Well, in fact, I saw him admit. And secondly, sir, I didn't see any evidence of harassment, nothing. Your claim is dismissed. Yours is granted. He admits to the ocean. Have a good day. I'd like to say I'm glad it's over, and I really truly hope that he stays clean.
I hope at some point in the future we become one again, because I really respect you.
Plaintiff Andrea Morris stated the defendant, and she claims after they moved in together, she realized she had a drinking problem. Andrea claims the defendant becomes belligerent and destructive when he's drunk, and she's suing him today for property damage, a vet bill, and harassment. Defendant Kevin Rochelle says he still loves Andrea, and he insists if they were still together, she wouldn't be suing him today. Kevin claims Andrea is exaggerating the situation, and he's countersuing her for unpaid work. How was you?
Okay, I met Kevin 44 years ago. We met in 9th grade, went our way, and we actually started dating in June of 2013. And he moved in to my house in August of 2013. After he moved in, I realized that he's a heavy major drinking. One minute he's normal, and then the next minute he's a Tasmanian devil, and there's 5 miles of destruction. So there have been several incidents where...
You've never been to court before? I object. Have you ever been to court? Yes, sir. All right. And in court, they don't allow you to do anything but stand up straight and talk to the judge in a very respectful manner. They don't allow you to hold your hands like that. They don't allow you to do all of that you're doing. If you that is less respectful, then you should be in a court of law. Go ahead.
Okay. So after he moved in, there were several episodes where when he drinks, he loses his temper. He becomes belligerent. I'm asking him...
He's angry drunk.
Angry drunk. So when he comes home like that, I'm telling him, you can't be here. You need to go back where you were. There ensues the incident.
What's his favorite drink?
I think it's Bacardi, tequila, 40 ounces of beer.
Anything that is getting drunk, sounds like.
Not here to bash him or make him look crazy, but when he's drinking, it's a whole different story. So it's difficult. It's him, his drinking, and me. So that's the order of the relationship.
Does he work? I said, I heard you all live together.
He basically worked temporarily, was waiting on his disability to come in, and when that came in, he drinks daily.
Let me hear from you, sir. Give me some background.
Me and Andrea met back off in 1973. She was my first girlfriend. I was her first boyfriend. It was good. And, like she stated, we separated. We went our separate ways. But somehow, some way, we stayed in contact. Like every 4 or 5 years, we would get back together. And, it was all good. Back off in 13, I moved in with her. She knew my situation.
What was that?
Unemployed.
How long had you been unemployed?
I was unemployed for like 2 years. And so, okay, we get back together. And, we're a couple, we're an item, we're going out, just, doing what a couple do. While I wasn't working, it wasn't like I was just laying up around the house, playing video games. I wasn't doing that.
Helping out? She said you were doing well when you weren't drunk.
There's more Judge Mathis after this.
And by the way, ladies, no men do that. I don't do it. You probably don't do it enough. Praise their mate, his spouse, and the rest of it. So I apologize on behalf of him.
All right. Thank you. Judge Mathis will always get to the truth.
She said Jazzy wants to fight.
No, Your Honor. You went over there to confront her.
Your heart doesn't only belong to you.
Right, Grandpa?
And if you have heart failure, then trusting your heart to Entresto may help. Entresto is a heart failure medicine that helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital compared to a leading heart failure medicine. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto and help make more tomorrows possible. Entresto for heart failure. Run to the store for your tickets to see Solo, a Star Wars story.
Hey! You're running.
Okay, walk. You can collect 3 special marked Big C cereals for your free movie ticket today. Solo, a Star Wars story, in theaters May 25th. Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth? In Allstate, you can pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. And another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands rewards just save driving with a deductible that goes away. Deductible rewards. One more way you're in good hands with Allstate.
Smoking causes my bone cancer. Walking every day makes me feel like myself again. Well, almost.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT now.
Although the financial crisis was some years back, it's still hurting many seniors today. But if you're a homeowner 62 or older, there's a mortgage program that just might make life a little easier. It's technically called a home equity conversion mortgage. But to keep it simple, let's call it a reverse mortgage loan. With a reverse mortgage, you can convert your home equity into cash. We're not overwhelmed with paying the bills anymore. And at the same time, eliminate your monthly mortgage payments. You get money to pay, you never give up ownership. It's small on our basis. For your free information kit, call now. You'll have to pay your property taxes and insurance and keep up with maintenance, but you won't make mortgage payments. You'll receive money. For your free information kit, call now. Call 1-800-75-1812 for more information. That's 1-800-75-1812. Plaintiff Andrea Morris stated the defendant, and she claims he left her a belligerent voicemail, which she has in court today. How does he owe you the 3806?
Well, in July 2014, he threw his cell phone, he busted a door. November 15th, the dog was barking, he slammed the shutter, then he jumped out, went out in the garage. I don't know if he kicked her or hit her with the golf ball, but the next day she couldn't walk, so I had to take her to the vet, and she had to have surgery.
How would each of these incidents begin?
Basically, if he gets drunk and I come home from work and we get in a disagreement, or he comes in and I'm there and I tell him you have to go back where you were, wherever you were drinking, you need to go back there because you can't stay here. So we're arguing and stuff. So if he doesn't leave, I have to call the police and make him leave. But basically, he knows not to come where I'm at in that condition.
Sir, well, tell me about these incidents if they occurred.
Miss Morris is really over-exaggerating. She's good. She's a professional administrator. She's good. She knows how to paint a picture, but I'm not here to come to slander her name.
Well, she's good, and she's the best professional administrator and all this. Oh, you mistreat her. So you sound like you're talking about a good woman over here. She's a good-looking woman. She's sharp. She's sharp as the devil today. And you treating her like a dog, coming in drunk, and acting a fool, and then coming here and want to praise her. You're right. And you lost her. How long you all been broken up?
July.
Will you take him back if he kicked that liquor?
Not unless he goes to
That's
rehab.
what I say, if you
Yeah.
kick it.
Yeah.
We're going to offer him rehab today, and that's going to equal, do you want her or do you want liquor? That's what this is going to come down to at the end of this case. Somebody's going to get some money or not, but the bigger thing is you're a nice woman here. You've shown your appreciation for her in words, but now you need to show her a sign. Turn that way and tell her what you think.
We broke up, man. You know, if we were still together, neither one of us would did.
No,
Tell her what you think of her.
I love her. I love you.
Why?
Why? Because she's a beautiful, smart, intelligent, kind-hearted person.
Yeah.
He ain't talked like this before, has he? Why I gotta tell you what to say?
For 10 months, I've been begging him to give me my money, and he told me, do what you gotta do. And so that's why we're here today.
All right. And you say these incidents she's exaggerating. So what do you tell me happened?
I said, you know, a little chip.
By the way, ladies, no men do that enough. I don't do it. You probably don't do it enough. Praise their mate, their spouse, and the rest of it. Men don't do it enough, and we know it. Most men I know, I certainly don't. So I apologize on behalf of him. All right.
Thank you.
I ain't quite making it. So what was it like, these incidents?
It was just minor, you know, like a chip. She wants to blow
Did
it
you
up.
injure her dog, sir?
No, sir, I did not. I don't know
Most
how that
folks' dogs are like family members.
Yes.
Yes,
So you've heard
Diamond is, and they love me. And I don't know what happened to the dog.
that you were drunk. All right, man.
Yes.
What do you tell me? What do you have there?
I have,
damages.
I have receipts, I have letters from him, I have text messages from him saying he's going to pay me, and
The amount on there?
yes,
Anywhere?
the amount on there.
All right, good. Let me have that. And what's your harassment you're also suing for?
The voicemail on September 9th at 10 o'clock p.m. I have that voicemail. You can
You have
hear
it
it
transcribed?
transcribed, and then they have a copy of it to listen to.
Okay. Let me hear it. We can understand. You were drunk this night. Was he drunk?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be able to understand a word he said. Go ahead.
I want to really down here. Okay? That's the golf course. I'm getting ready to tell you some stuff. I done heard some news. I done got some news. Got it. All right? You better leave. You leave the house.
What do you say to that, sir?
I say, it's true, but it don't say what she said to get me started.
What she say, sir?
She said all kind of stuff. You know,
Just give me a little bit of it.
use a bomb. I'm gonna have somebody kill you. I'm gonna get my exes, to come see you.
This man?
No.
She seemed like she might call you a bum, but I don't know if she's threatening. She don't seem like she's threatening to have
He
you.
threatened me.
Yeah, she called that man a bum.
She gonna get all kind of dudes,
You called him a bum. You did.
Children are professionals. Who am I sending?
I'm just messing with you. I know you didn't do that.
Judge Mathis gives the verdict when we return. And coming up,
She gave me a week for free after the initial 240.
You have proof of that?
Huh?
You always pay your insurance on time. Have one little bumper, and up go your rates. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Newsflash, nobody's perfect.
for drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Switch and you can save $782 on home and auto insurance. Call 1-844-252-1810 for a free quote today. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Right now, get 2 of these delicious McDonald's breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Mix and match the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles, sausage McMuffin with egg, or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. A deal that will make your morning routine a little better. Breakfast at McDonald's. Each year, Sarah climbs 58,007 steps. That's the height of Mount Everest. Because each day she chooses to take the stairs. At work, at home, even on the escalator. That can be hard on the lower body. So now she does it with Dr. Schultz Orthotics. Clinically proven to relieve and prevent foot, knee, or lower back pain. By reducing the shock and stress that travel up her body with every step she takes. So keep on climbing, Sarah. You're killing it. Dr. Schultz, Orange Moon. June 29th, Publishers Clearinghouse could hand you $1 million. I'm in shock. But that's just the beginning. Because then you get $1,000 a week for the rest of your life. What a blessing. Go to PCH.com and enter now. June 29th, you could win it all.
Why is their unlimited data so expensive? Who do those guys think they're fooling?
See you all the time.
They expect all of us to share?
So, you ready to switch?
For the family. Switch to Boost and get 3 lines with unlimited gigs for $100 per month. Plus, get up to 3 free phones with 20 gigs of mobile hotspot on each line. All on the super reliable and super fast nationwide network. Enjoy your data. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Plaintiff Andrea Morris dated the defendant, and she claimed she left her a belligerent voicemail, which she has in court today.
Their counterclaim served how does she owe you for unpaid work?
During the summer, her whole backyard was a mess.
What was the amount you were to be paid?
$4,000.
All right, and when were you supposed to have been paid?
As soon as I got through.
Okay, when you asked for your money, what did she say?
She said, go on, kick rocks, get out of here. I ain't paying you nothing. You owe me that.
Did you remind her of the agreement? Did you say, well, why did you have me do this work? after telling me you would pay me, and now you're not. Because that's the way she is. She said, I don't know you nothing. You were supposed to do that.
Yeah.
He mowed the lawn, washed the cars, things of that nature. I never had him do whatever work he did back there. I had to have it.
Never agreed to pay you for any of this work. Do you have any evidence that she agreed to pay you? Because I have a lot of evidence that you agreed to pay her $28.06. Do you have anything showing that she agreed to pay you the $4,000 at any point? No, sir. All right. So
she would never write nothing like that down on my
She
line.
denies that she even agreed and you were part of the household. You weren't bringing in much. She was bringing in a lot, so do some work around the house.
That's what I'm doing here.
Don't try to charge her now! Ma'am, I'm not going to give you the $1,000 for harassment. I know he sounded and acted a fool on this, but he's been a fool a long time. You know it. You've been going with a fool for a long time, so you can't pick which foolish part you want to sue about. I'll give you your $2,806 for your damages. Your claim is dismissed, and I'm going to have a producer talk to you and see if we can help you and see if you'll accept our help for rehabilitation and therapy of some sort. If you reject it, you're rejecting her. Fine. She walk out the door and they're going to be lined up around the corner. It's hard to find a good woman, professional administrator. All these other women out here just chasing a couple of dollars. Get me a Chanel bag. Get me some red bottoms. No, she ain't like that.
No,
Professional woman. She ain't out to chase red bottoms. All right, have a good day. Just get fucking played if yours is this.
Yeah, I hope Kevin, I love him. I hope he gets the help he needs. I hope he goes to rehab. I mean, he would be a great guy if he would do that. I don't know what he's going to do.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win her love.
Defendant Kevin Rochelle went to a 30-day rehab program after his case was heard and says he has now been sober for 6 months. Kevin says he has continued to participate in his recovery by attending classes and meetings. And he and plaintiff Andrea Morris are working on their relationship. Kevin thanks Judge Mathis for getting him the help he so desperately needed. Plaintiff Holly Moore says had she known the drama that came along with the defendant, she never would have hired him to work in her salon. Holly claims the defendant left without giving 2 weeks' notice, and he left his belongings behind, so she's suing for breach of contract. Defendant Matthew Hughes admits that he signed a contract with Holly, but says she agreed to knock off 1 week of rent after he paid the initial fee. Start with you.
Okay, well, Your Honor, in July of 2015, Matt came into my salon looking for a place to rent. I thought he was a little weird, a little sketchy, but because a friend that we know mutually.
What makes you think that?
Usually people don't walk into a hair salon and want to start the next day.
Yes, they do.
Not in my business.
If I'm looking for a job, I'm coming in, I want to start that day.
Well, Your Honor, he did mention that he was at a salon prior, and he left quickly because they had changed the contracts up on him and upped his rent.
Okay. What?
And so anyways, if I would have known all the drama that came along with this man, I would never have agreed. But since I'm a single mom of 3, I needed the money. I agreed to let him come to the salon. He came the very next day, signed his contract, paid $240 up front for 2 weeks of rent, and I haven't seen a penny since.
Okay, you have the contract?
Yes, sir, I do.
And that was $240, how much per?
It was $120 a week, and he paid me for 2 weeks up front, so it was $240.
Sir, what do you say to this?
She gave me a week for free after the initial $240.
Do you have proof of that?
You high? Well, just let me ask. You signed this contract?
I did.
And it began on the
10th of July.
All right, 10th of July, $120 a week. And how long were you there?
I was there until the 13th of August. Judge Mathis will be right back. Judge Mathis will always get to the truth.
She said Jazzy wants to fight. No, Your Honor.
You went over there to confront her.
You wrote a song? I think I need to, yes.
Alrighty, then here we go. Carrie, Doug and Carrie. Carrie. Carrie.
You're playing your belly.
Carrie. Oh, what a rush. Arthur. Am I interrupting? Arthur. Smell me. Doug and Carrie. Let's get it on. Doug and Carrie. This is Unbearable. The King of Queens rocks every weeknight. Weekdays at 3 and 3:30 on WHVL. If this gunfires, it's going to be worth a whole lot more than if it doesn't fire. 3, 2, 1. New things. You know what you have here? This is Fabergé. Crazier stories. What is this thing? Oh my god. Hands down, this is the coolest item ever come to my shop. Grenade. Get that thing out of my store. Hey, Mr. Dillon. How you doing? We're practicing YouTube right now. The first, the one, the only. Monstars. How you look to you?
Weekdays at 10 p.m.
Sorry I took so long. I'm already pulling into the driveway and I just wanted to enjoy it for a while. Exposing your body for money is wrong. The only people who should see you naked are your mother, your doctor, and your best friend in 3rd grade. The only jab that's ever been kind to me is Father Time. I'm surrounded by people who hate me. It's our wedding all over again. American Dad, for discretion advised. Weeknights at 1 and 1:30 on WHBL. An American Ninja Warrior. Not here to play around. Unbelievable! The Z Finals are shaking things up. At this point, so hard, I go home. Who will rise to the occasion? And
fall flat.
Hey, easy, Roger, easy. We're coming.
American Ninja Warrior. Friday night today on WHBL. Closed captioning and other consideration for Judge Mathis provided by... What if the vacuum head was reborn? Shark has added a rotating soft brush, so while deep cleaning carpets, you can also grab large particles, pull in piles, and directly engage floors. Duo Clean, invented by Shark.
60% of women wear the wrong size pad and can experience leaks. You don't have to. With Always My Fit, try the next size up and get up to 20% better coverage day or night. Because better coverage means better protection. Always.
When you see an intruder, you act fast. So Raid kills roaches 7 times faster than the next leading anti-roach spray.
7 times faster?
And Raid, tough on roaches fast. S.C. Johnson.
Plaintiff Holly Moore hired the defendant to work in her salon. But had she known the drama that came along with the defendant, she never would have hired him. Ma'am, why do you think you're entitled to $1,500?
Because he left all of his belongings behind. I never saw him. I tried to contact him several times. I had the text messages. He never responded. He had a 24-hour access key to the building. So I didn't know if he was coming in and working at night and taking advantage of me. I had no idea what was going on. He wouldn't respond. So I feel because he signed a contract that states he needs to write a 2 weeks written notice and he never did it, he owes me the money.
And I'm not good at math. There's the 1560 divided by 120 is what? 13 weeks. 13 weeks. And he left after how many weeks?
I don't know, it was sometime in August, I think probably the date that he said. But his stuff remained there, and I never heard anything from him.
All right, why don't you put these things out?
Well, actually, I brought them with me. They're right here.
Okay, but you have a legal obligation to mitigate your damages. You can't just wait and keep charging somebody for it. You can just keep it there for years. And then when you catch up with them, say, you owe me for 5 years.
Well, honestly, I've been in business for 7 years. I've only had 3 renters the entire 7 years.
Okay, but you can't blame him for not having any
blaming
customers or renters. It would be considered abandonment. And you change your locks and you put his things either in storage or you put them out. And he can't sue you because he abandoned his property. And you will have mitigated your damages. So I'm going to give you 4 weeks worth, 120 times 4. It requires a 2-week notice, and after that 4 weeks, you should have assumed he wasn't coming back. You can't say, well, you need to give me 2 weeks notice, I'm going to keep charging you until you give me that 2 weeks notice. So you're never going to get the 2 weeks notice because he's abandoned it. So, how much? $480. $480 is the judgment. Have a good day. You can keep the things, he abandoned it.
Oh, I am, trust me.
An important message for Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you receiving all the benefits available to you? Now's the time to find a coverage that's right for you at the right price. The way to do that is to explore your options. You can spend hours doing that yourself, or you can call Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you. Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge. Call 1-800-604-0152. Hey man, I'm down here. Beer Belly's beverage. What are you thinking about tonight? How about some Dos Equis? Or hey, how about some good old Bud Light? That's always good for a game day. No? How about some Guinness then? Come on, man. I can't name all the beers they've got here. They've got over 500. With over 500 options, we know it's hard to choose. But whatever you're in the mood for, Beer Bellies has the beer for it. Located in Hampton Square Shopping Center, State College, PA.
From punchlines to punches.
Comedian Steve Brown was attacked on stage at his show. The guy was swinging the mic stand and he's just avoiding. He's a Floyd Mayweather of comedians. He's a ninja.
All good TMZ.
Weekday at 10 p.m.
Party over here. That means I can go out and party.
The Cleveland Show. Weeknights at 2 a.m. on WHBL.
On our first anniversary, he brought me roses, and then I found out about Rosa. Time for divorce court.
Weekdays at 12 and 12:30. We're watching WHBL State College, the center of it all.